Hello friend, and welcome to my yoga channel, Tom Yoga Om. Today's class is all about grounding down and settling down and finding peace. This week has been not fun for me. My emotions feel like they're all over the place. I feel like my brain is really doing quite well, and then it's really horrible. And I'm really struggling to find a sense of groundedness and a sense of clarity and stability as a result. And so what we're going to do in this class is some asanas, some yoga postures to bring in a sense of groundedness and peace and calmness. I hope that by the end of the class you feel those things a lot more strongly and that your week settles down if that's why you're here. Let's get to it. To begin with, we're going to bring ourselves to the ground. So just start by coming onto your back and keep your feet flat on the floor, your knees bent. Roll your spine onto the ground. Take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest, and just start to breathe with me here. To release any excess tension, any excess stress, we're going to take 3 cleansing breaths. So when you're ready, inhale through the nostrils. Exhale out of your mouth. Let's do that 4 more times. Good. If you're feeling able to do so, close your eyes or try to soften and blur out your gaze and start to breathe in through your nostrils. And as you exhale, start to feel your arms and your legs soften down into your mat. Keep breathing through your nostrils. This time, feel your hips and your shoulders sink down into your mat. Next, relax your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back. And bring your attention to the tops of your shoulders. And feel those soften too. Then relax your jaw. Relax your temple, the sides of your head. Relax your scalp, the top of your head. Relax your forehead, the space above your eyebrows. Feel the space around your eyes, all the little muscles there, and feel those soften as you next exhale. Feel your cheekbones and your lips soften. And your nose and your nostrils. Take your awareness to your hands and feel the space underneath them soften. And now to practice grounding down and becoming present even more so with where we are right now. Take your awareness to the space underneath your feet, underneath your hips, your back, your arms and your head. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, and with each exhale, want you to feel those places where the body connects to the mat, sinking down deeper into the mat and feeling like you're cradled by the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to sink down. Let's take one more deep breath in and out here. And when you're ready, start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. And for one breath, we're going to place our hands beside us, palms facing down, pressing into the mat. Take a big breath in and feel the energy of the earth underneath you, the space underneath you. Imagine that it's rising up. If you'd like to give it a color, the visual element that we embody here is the earth chakra, and the color of the earth chakra is red, Muladhara. So imagine a red earth rising up to meet you. And as you exhale, just sink down into your mat. Next breath in, sweep your arms back behind you. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, sweep them back down and by the sides of your hips. Let your exhale end when your hands touch the floor. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that, warming up into the shoulders, breathing in. Imagining a red earth underneath you, exhaling, floating the hands down. One more, breathe it in. And exhale, breathe it out. Good, bring your fingertips and your heels to meet. Keep your hands and your feet strongly pressed down into the floor. And on your next breath in, I want you to lift up into a bridge pose, nice and slow. Gently engage your glutes as you do this. This will help you control your way up. As you exhale, roll your spine down back onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take 2 more rounds of breath like that, and just feel your spine warming up. Feel the stretch in the front of your thighs. And feel that control as you lower yourself back down. One more breath here. Good. On this next breath in, lift yourself all the way up. And this time, interlace your fingers underneath you. Squeeze your shoulders together and try and lift up on top of them. And keep yourself here for 3 breaths. I want you to press down into your arms as well as your feet. Draw your knees together and breathe here gently into the belly and into the chest. If your mind is wandering, if it's going to places that don't feel good, then take it instead to the space underneath your feet, underneath your arms, your shoulders, and your head. And just feel the earth there, keeping you stable and secure. Take 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, release your hands and with control, lower yourself back down onto your mat. Take your right ankle onto your left knee and squeeze that left leg in to a stretch for the outside of that right leg. Take a big breath in and out. And then 2 more. Sometimes the tendency when we're feeling scattered or where we feel like we want to escape our lives and just shuffle stuff up because whatever we're dealing with is so uncomfortable, sometimes the tendency is to move fast and to move with lots of energy. And that might bring you some temporary satisfaction, but it won't make the problem go away. My experience is that we need to sit with it We need to sit with ourselves and feel what's going on in our body. And not to let it overwhelm us, but to help us feel more comfortable with it. Just change legs, looping your hands around that right leg, bringing the left ankle onto the right knee. Find a nice gentle stretch here. The other tendency is to push yourself to try and break free, to try and break through whatever you're feeling. Instead, just find the gentle edge of your stretch and stay there and take 3 breaths. Feel what you've got to feel and feel supported at the same time. When you're ready, you can release those feet down, bring them onto the floor. We're going to do a twist. Sometimes what happens is that whatever we're going through is kind of built up in us. And they say that twists cleanse us from toxins. And those can be mental toxins or physical toxins. I'm not going to claim to be a scientist about it, but I find that twists generally do help me get a sense of cleansing. So let's just do that together, and you might like to visualize a sense of purging of that anxiety or pressure that you're feeling. Bring your legs to a parallel position, a 90 degrees position, and just drop them down to your right side. Just going to make some space here. You can take your hands behind your head if you'd like, or out to the sides, and just take 3 deep breaths gently into that belly and into the chest. When you're ready, bring your legs back to center and just change to the opposite side. And after your 3rd breath, come back to a neutral position. Bring your knees into your chest and squeeze them in before circling and feeling the stretch in the lower back. Just change the direction of your stretch just to open up that lower back space, that lumbar spine area. And when you're ready, take your hands underneath your legs and just rock yourself up and down a couple of times. Just become really present of the mat underneath you. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in a Navasana, a boat pose at the top of the mat. Everyone's favorite, right? So we're just going to lock ourselves into this position. For now, hold on to your legs and just press your heels out and away from you. In a moment, we'll let go of the legs, and you should feel an engagement, that space where your hips and where your hips are. Extend your arms out in front of you. Just take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in deep. Find stability here. If you need to hold on to the legs, feel free to do so, or take your hands behind you. After that 3rd exhale, plant your feet onto the floor, take your hands onto your knees, breathe into your belly and your chest as you lift up. And as you exhale, round your back behind you. Let your shoulders soften, draw your chin in. Inhale to lift up, press your belly and your chest forward. And exhale, drop back. Keep that connection, that mental connection to your mat and to the space underneath you. When you're ready, lift yourself up, cross your ankles over, and just bring your hands out in front of you to fold yourself down. Here we find a stretch in the lower back, which is what we're looking for. I want you to spread your hands out, plant them down onto the ground, draw your chin in, and just take 3 deep breaths here. Take some time to just be and to feel whatever you've got to feel. Last breath. When you're ready, after that exhale, walk your hands back. Now, sometimes what can happen is that whatever we're going through, we find ourselves caught up in it. And so now we're going to start to bring a little bit more movement into our pose. We've grounded down, we've created some stability. Now it's time to move through it. So just start by bringing yourself onto all fours, onto your knees and your hands. And to keep that strength that comes from stability and groundedness, press into your hands. Really feel yourself draw weight into them. Press down into your feet. And lift the space between your shoulders, your upper back, closer to the ceiling. Draw your chin in towards your neck. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, kick your feet down, press your hands down. On your next breath in, inhale, drop your belly down, open your chest up into your first cow position. As you exhale, round your spine the other way. 2 more rounds of breath like that. Breathing in, opening up. Exhaling, rounding away. 1 more. Good. Come back to a neutral position. Now they say that courage comes from the core, comes from the area of the Manipura chakra. What we're going to do now is invigorate that area, bring some heat up into it. So once again, kick your feet down into the floor, press your hands down into the floor, then tuck your toes under and lift your knees up off the ground. Your core will start to engage here. Let's take 5 breaths to really get that fire going. Visualize some red energy underneath your hands and your feet. Just imagine that it's good energy. It's coming here to bring stability into your life. It's here to bring groundedness and a sense of strength and stability. I think we've got 2 more breaths. I've lost count. Let's just do 2 more wherever you're at. And 1 more. Keep pressing down. When you're ready, lift yourself up into your first downward facing dog. Once you get here, start to bend your knees left to right. We haven't warmed up those hamstrings, so just check where they are. And really grip your hands down into the floor. Spread your fingers out. Relax the space around your shoulders. Let your head hang here. On your next breath in, lift your heels up off the floor. Reach your buttocks up, and as you exhale, ground those heels down. Send the hips back by pressing into the hands. 3 more breaths like that. Nice and slow. 1 more. And exhale, ground down. Next breath in, lift that left leg up and just press the heel back behind you. Hold here for 2 breaths. Nice straight leg. Press the left heel back. Engage the left thigh muscle. And after that second exhale, step your foot forward to the top of the mat. Come up onto your fingertips. Either lift the back knee up off the floor or keep it down on the ground. And just hold here. Reach out through the top of your head. When you're ready, plant your left hand down on the floor, sweep your left arm up. Twisting, cleansing. One more big breath in here. And a big breath out. And then reach that left arm forward to the top of your mat. 2 breaths. Find the stretch from that right heel all the way to the left fingertips. Then inhale, circle that left arm back behind you, bring it onto the floor, step your left foot back and just come into your down dog. Bend your knees left to right. And take one more big round of breath here. Next breath in, lift your right leg up, press the heel back behind you. Hold for 2 breaths. Find your strength. Feel your strength. After the second exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. And from here, come up onto your fingertips, extend out through the top of your head, and take 3 breaths. After the third exhale, left hand comes down onto the floor, onto the inside of that right foot. Sweep your right arm up. 2 breaths. Twisting to cleanse. And then extend those right fingers to the top of the mat and find the stretch from that left heel to the right fingertips. Take 2 breaths here like this. Feel the heat. Keep breathing through your nose. And then sweep your right arm back behind you and onto the mat. Step back into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, ground those heels down to the floor. Okay, from here we're going to bend those knees left to right and take really big exaggerated steps to come to the top of our mats into Uttanasana. From here, feel your torso hang down and then take your hands onto your thighs. Inhale up into a halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees and fold yourself down nice and slow. Then take a hold of your elbows and just feel your body hang here. Take 5 deep breaths left to right. Come into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Ground those heels down. On your next breath in, start to bend your knees left to right. And as you exhale, begin to walk yourself forward to the top of your mat into Uttanasana. On that first breath in, take your hands onto your thighs and inhale up into a halfway lift. And as you exhale, bend your knees and really slowly roll your spine down over your thighs. Feel the space underneath your feet. Try to keep your balance even as you fold down. Take your hands onto your elbows. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. You can either keep your body still or sway your torso or your hips from side to side. Do whatever feels right for you. And really slowly rock your hips from side to side. Then release your hands down to the floor. What we're going to do next is ragdoll ourselves up into a standing position. Now, to keep your lower back and your body safe here, I want you to breathe in. And as you exhale, start to roll yourself up and start by drawing your belly up against your spine so you're activating your core. Then when you get about halfway, you can breathe in. Keep that belly tucking in. And really gently Bring yourself to a vertical position. Once you're up, roll your shoulders a couple of times. Just find a nice full breath here. And then come back to a grounded position. From here, sweep your arms up. I hope you can see mine. Probably not. And as you exhale, bring your hands down through to your heart center. Feel yourself ground down and relax. Do that 4 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down through to your heart center. And relax. 2 more. Or 3 more. We've got 2 more. Try to slow it down now. And for this last one, take a deep breath in, lift your arms up, and exhale out of your mouth with a sigh. Bring your hands through to heart center. Good. We're going to bring ourselves down onto our knees and just come and sit down onto our heels like so. If you want to lift your knees, you can. Sometimes that feels quite nice. We're going to rest here for a little bit. If this is too intense for your knees, feel free to come to a seated position. And otherwise, take your hands through to your heart center. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sigh out of your mouth. Feel your body relax. Take 1 more breath like that. And we're going to embody the energy of the chakras. So when we bring our hands through to our heart center, we're embodying the energy of the heart chakra that helps us move forward from a space of love and from a space of kindness and care towards ourselves, others, and the world around us. So just take a breath into this space. Feel yourself ground down into that energy. Also feeling the floor underneath you supporting you. Next, we're going to take our hands through to our throat, like this. You can just bring your thumbs there. You could try and cram it all in, but I don't think it would work. Now, this chakra embodies the energy of how we communicate with ourselves, with the world around us, and with our friends, with our colleagues. And it's got to do with our truth. So maybe you don't know what your truth is. Maybe you're denying your truth. Maybe your truth is in conflict, which is why you're feeling this way. And that's why it's important to take care of that energy. So just connect to it and take a deep breath in and out. Cool. Next, we're going to bring our thumbs, or the backs of our thumbs, to our third eye. This chakra's energy embodies clarity, it embodies wisdom, and embodies our inner body's wisdom and our ability to focus on it. So take your thumbs, the backs of your thumbs there, and take a deep breath in and out. Good. And next we're going to take the tops of our hands into a lotus position, which is when you join the pinky fingers and the thumbs together, and you bring your sort of wrists on top of your head like so. And we're embodying the crown chakra energy. The crown chakra's energy has got a lot to do with our sense of belief. That might be religious for you or might be spiritual for you. I like to think of it personally as a trust in things unfolding the way that they're meant to. Despite me feeling crappy when I first started this class, I feel pretty good now. I hope you do too. But trusting that process and trusting that what you're going through is what you need to go through, even though it's tough as hell sometimes, is what this energy is all about. It's trust. It's trust that you're going to be okay. It's trust that you're on the right path, that this is a part of that path. So take your big thumbs, maybe you've got small thumbs. Take your thumbs together, your pinky fingers together, and bring your wrists on top of your head. Just take a big breath in and out like this. Breathe in that energy and feel it seep through you. And after you exhale, you bring your hands down onto your thighs. Just take a moment to check in with yourself. See how you're going. And we're going to come onto our backs now into a Shavasana. We won't be there for very long, but I really encourage you to come and enjoy this last bit of the practice. So when you're ready, come onto your back and either have your feet flat on the floor or your legs extended out. Take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest. Take some time to settle in and once again connect through to the space underneath you, the space where your body meets your mat. Feel a sense of support and stability and strength between you and the mat. Then I want you to take 3 deep breaths, and we're going to try something different. We're going to follow the breath through our nostrils, down into our body, and really try and stay present with it the whole time. And then I'd like you to focus on which chakra you resonated with, which you felt that you connected with the most, which chakra's energy you felt you needed the most. If it was the chakra, or the root chakra, the earth chakra, you might like to bring your hands now onto the floor. If it was the chakra to do with your emotions, you could take your hands down onto your lower belly. It's the chakra that's got to do with the energy of courage, take it onto your upper belly. If you need a little bit more love or you want that energy embodied, take your hands onto your heart. If your throat or your truth feels like it needs to be spoken, just take your fingers down onto your throat, into that little pocket you can feel there. If you feel like you want to tune in or tap into your inner wisdom, then you could focus on your third eye. And if you feel like you want to trust in your path and your life's journey, your life's path, focus on the top of your head. And just choose whichever one you like. And let's close the class by taking 3 deep breaths into that space together. Once you've taken your 3rd exhale, you might want to stay here, in which case just pause the video and do your thing. Good job. Otherwise, if you're ready to get up, just start by wriggling your fingers and your toes and take a big stretch of the arms and the legs. When you're ready, lift yourself up to a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Place your hands wherever you want to. And just ground down once again into the floor. If you'd like, close your eyes or soften your gaze and take one last breath here, imagining that red earth rising up to meet you, giving you stability and strength. As you breathe out, feel yourself sink down into the earth and feel groundedness. Thank you very much for having the courage to make it this far in the class. I know that sometimes when we go through moments in our lives that are really tough, it's just so hard to do freaking anything, even the simplest things. And you've just gone through a whole yoga class. So like, hats off to you. That's amazing. I just want to say that I'm proud of you for making it through this class. I'm sending you love. And I hope that whatever you're going through passes with ease, because that's sometimes what we all need. Remember to give it space and to trust that you're on the right path. This is a part of the process of your life. I wish you all the best for the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I hope to see you again. Namaste.